Hi Fixer family, it's Charmin. Welcome to Fixin' 2. For our first project, this is what we're going to need: a frame from the Dollar Tree. We're also going to be using this tight woven burlap, some paints, I'm not quite sure which one I'm going to use just yet, a pair of scissors, and a template that I created on my silhouette. So we're going to go ahead and pull out all of the insides of our frame here, keeping the back and the glass. So we're going to go ahead and pull the glass out, and then we're going to take our burlap and lay it down on there, and then of course we're going to cut it out, making sure we leave about an inch all the way around to be able to glue to the glass. Now we're going to go ahead and find the center of our burlap here and place down the template that I created on my silhouette. Now this particular bird, I went and found it on Google, and it was, I did it free, didn't cost me a thing to actually create a template in my silhouette. Now if you guys are interested in wanting to know how to create something like this to use, if you have a vinyl cutter, I can show you how I do it on my silhouette, and it may translate over into the Cricut, but I'm not really sure. So just let me know down in the comment section below if you would like to see how I create this. So we're going to go ahead and just pull our little, put our little bird on here and pull off our transfer sheet. And I'm going to use my finger just to kind of, seal it down as best I can. Then we're going to do a little trick here, but before I do that, I want to show you this tip. If you guys haven't ever seen the Glade press and seal, this stuff is amazing, not only in the kitchen, but also a great addition to your craft room. This stuff it sticks to your surface, but comes off super easy, and it helps to build a little bit of a barrier when you're going to use something that's porous like burlap, using paint or Mod Podge or whatever it is you're using. So what we're going to do here is take our Mod Podge, and we're going to just dab it on to our template here for our bird to help seal it as best as possible, and try to keep it from the paint from bleeding so bad. So we'll do that, make sure it's good and dry, and then I'm going to use my Waverly chalk paint in the color white and go ahead and paint my bird. And just using the dabbing motion again, and I try to give it just one good thick coat. Now you can put as much paint on here as you really want it to fill in, but I just kind of still wanted it to have that little bit of a rustic look. So while that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to paint my frame. And I'm really loving these very muted greens and blues for spring and Easter this year. And so I decided I was going to use this sage green and go ahead and put 2 coats on my frame. And this is just a matte finish acrylic paint. And I just love this color. And I'm going to go ahead and just make sure that I put 2 coats on it, like I said. Set it aside and let it dry. And now our bird is dry, and I'm going to ease off my little template here. And I just use contact paper that you buy at Walmart in a big old roll for a couple of dollars, and it works just fine. So now that we have that ready to go, we're going to go ahead and use our glass. Now I'm going to place my glass in the center, getting my bird as centered up as you can. And then I'm going to take my hot glue, and being very super careful, I'm going to go ahead and start gluing down the burlap and wrapping it around each of the edges. And just be super careful, it is porous and it will burn. So I wanted to go ahead and kind of, maybe rustic up, do a little bit of dry brushing to my frame. Now the frame is beautiful like this, but I just wanted a little bit more texture to it, so I'm using my chalk paint and just lightly dry brushing, and you can do as much or as little as you want to it, and it dries super quick. So now it's time to put this in our frame, and we're going to flip it over, and it will fit in there really super snug, so you won't have to worry about it popping out. But once you put the back on it and the little clips that they usually have on these will hold it down, and it turns out absolutely adorable. So stinking cute. Today's video is in part of the Friend Friday Hop with my dear friend Heidi Sambal. Now guys, I know that this is not Friday, but hey, things happen, you know. But that's okay. We are still going to have a great time. And if you've never been a part of the Friend Friday Hops, let me explain a little bit of how it works. Now, down in the description box, there will be a link to the next person in the hop. So once you're finished with this video, go ahead, give it a thumbs up, give me a comment down below, and then click on the link to the next video. You'll do the same with her video, get some wonderful inspiration, and then she will also have a link in her description box. Click on it, hop to the next one, and you'll end up all the way back around to me. So I'm so excited about this fun hop. We have some wonderful projects for you, some great springtime inspiration. I will also have a link to Heidi's channel down in the description box as well. If you've never met my friend Heidi or any of these ladies in this hop, then I highly recommend that you check out their whole channel and subscribe to them, and I promise you, you will not regret it. So let's go ahead, get back into these fun springtime projects. For our next project, we're going to be using 4 of these 8x8 thin canvases from the Dollar Tree. Those paints that I'm just loving right now. We're going to be using 4 of these terracotta pots, some of the nautical rope, also my hot glue gun, and then I have this paper that I got. It's kind of like a tissue paper that was in a project, or should I say a product that we had gotten. You can use any kind of paper. So I'm going to take my 8x8 canvas, and I'm going to make an X from point to point so that I can find the center. And it's just simple using a little pencil. You don't have to worry about those pencil marks because this is going to be covered up by the paper. So once we have the center, then I'm going to take and I'm going to place it where I have 1.5 inches with of course the cross being in the center of that. And then at those 2 points that we marked, I'm going to take a pair of pointed scissors and I'm going to just put a little hole in there. It goes through really easily, and I just start so that I can kind of make sure that it's in the right place. But then you'll see my scissors are kind of tapered and they get bigger at the bottom. We're going to use that, and we're just going to go in and just twist it down, pushing it towards the back, and it very easily creates this hole. And of course, all of the stuff that's at the top, I just kind of push it to the back into the hole, and it will work perfectly. Once you get that done, then you're going to take your paper. Now, like I was saying, this particular paper came from a product that we had purchased, and it was in between the thing, and I just kept it, thought it was great. But guys, you can use wrapping paper, you can use any kind of scrapbooking paper, whatever you have on hand, you can definitely use this. And what I'm going to do is make sure that I have about 1 inch hangover, but I marked out the size of my square here, the 8x8, and I'm just going to take a craft knife and cut it out, leaving that inch per se around the sides here so that you'll have enough room to fold it over. Once you get it cut out, of course, you're going to bring your your canvas, back into this, and you'll just start hot gluing it and pulling over the sides. Be careful, it's hot. It comes through that paper really easily. And once I get it folded over, then I'm going to go back to all 4 of the corners and just kind of cut off any excess, kind of use my hot glue to kind of clean it up and everything. And don't worry about the back right now because it won't be seen, but we're also going to be doing a little something to it. Now we're going to take our scissors and poke a little hole through the front so that we know where it is, and then just get it to where it's open enough, because we're going to be placing our nautical rope through these holes. Now that you have your holes stuck through, set it aside and go ahead, and we're going to dry brush our terracotta pots. And you can do them as much or as little as you want to. And I'm using chalk paint with a little bit of my green paint mixed in there. So now we're ready to put our nautical rope through the holes. Now you're going to push one side through and have it out about 4 inches. Grab the other side and bring it all the way down, leaving just enough of a loop that you can slide your pot down in. And then of course tighten it up. Once you get that pulled tight enough, then you're going to go ahead and cut it off evenly with the other piece that you had stuck through the one side. And now we're going to take some glue and just put it around that little lip that those pots have, just to kind of help secure it into place. Then we're going to flip it over on the back and we're going to just tie it one time. Once you get it tied, then we're going to use the excess rope here and create a hanger out of it. I'm going to kind of overlap it at the top, and then just kind of make sure how far I want it up there, and then go ahead and put a little bit of glue on the top of it, placing the other piece on top of that, holding it together until it sets really well. Then you're going to stretch it up there again, and however much of a loop you want to leave unglued at the top, which probably I guess you can kind of say is about 1 inch down from the top, then you're just going to take and put your hot glue down all the way to the bottom where you tied it, and then pushing it back up into that corner and then holding it until it sets. And because the backing of this canvas is like a cardboard type of material, the hot glue really holds to it. But if you want to make sure, you can also use E6000 or a super glue of some kind if it helps to make you feel like it's more secure. But these are not heavy at all, so it will definitely hold. So now you have your little loop there, and I'm also going to take and put just a little dab of hot glue right here at the bottom of the pot to keep it from swaying back and forth. And I'm going to take those and just put in some of my lavender that I have here, and these are beautiful. I love them. For our next project, we are going to be using 4 of these botanical printouts. We're going to be using some Mod Podge and some burnt umber acrylic paint, and 4 of these thin canvases that are 11 by 14, also from the Dollar Tree. Now these botanical printouts I will have them for free for you. All you have to do is down in the description box, I have my email address is listed there. Email me and I will send you the link to these awesome botanical printouts. And we're going to do all 4 of these by cutting out around the brown and then getting them ready to go onto our canvas. Now our canvases, we're going to create a faux frame using our burnt umber acrylic paint. And you'll see I kind of place the botanical picture in there and then go in and start painting, and so on. You'll see me kind of come in there looking with the print again, just to make sure that I get it down far enough, because I want to leave the middle unpainted so that this print will adhere to the canvas really well. Now I'm going to go ahead and put 2 coats onto the canvas. Once it's dry, we're going to take our botanical. Boy, I can't say that real fast, can I? We're going to take our print, laying it on there and using a ruler to make sure that I get it as close to centered as possible. And then I'm going to take a pencil and do a light little pencil mark on all four corners so that I know exactly where this print needs to lay. I don't know if you can see it here on camera, but it is there, and you will be able to see where they are to be able to go in with your Mod Podge and start putting a nice, pretty even, thick coat to lay your botanical print on. So I go in and kind of smooth it out, and then I take a little squeegee that I have, but you can use a credit card, a gift card, anything like that to pull it out. And guys, over the top of this, I am using Waverly's varnish that they carry. This stuff is amazing. Once you get it all smoothed out there, and then you begin to dry it and use your finger to smooth it out, it creates a very smooth transition. Looks like it is just a nice print. I love this stuff, and I love the way that these botanicals turned out. Just wanted to pop in here super quick and remind you guys to make sure you're checking the community tab here on my channel, because I'm putting information in there all the time. Also, I am over on Instagram. I'm at Charmin_Fixin'2, and I would love for you guys to come over and say hi. So for this project, we are going to be using one of these mesh waste baskets from the Dollar Tree. I'm also going to be using a small stovetop cover with a galvanized paint technique on it, and I'll have that linked in the iCards above for you to show you how I did that. I'm also going to be using kind of like a finial from an old curtain rod with a screw and a little, I guess a little nut for it. I should say washer. I have some Rust-Oleum chalk paint and of course a Phillips head screwdriver. So the first thing I did is I took the finial out and spray painted it with the chalk paint, and it turned out a little more gray than I wanted it, and I want it to be more black to match the wastebasket. So I'm just going to take some black acrylic paint and just go ahead and get that painted up really good. I have it stuck on a skewer down in some foam there to help me out. Once that's dry, I'm going to find center here on the top, or should I say the bottom of the wastebasket that is going to become the top of our wired cloche. I'm so excited about this. I have loved the chicken wire, and I thought that this would work out so awesome. And guys, you can paint it any color you want to, and they have white and they also have black, of course, as you see here in the Dollar Tree. And I think that this just turns out amazing. And I also took a piece of scrapbook paper that I had, real pretty scrapbook paper, and created a little tag. Now this is just purely preference. You can, decorate it like you want, but I just made a little tag to go around the top, the little handle, and created this darling little cloche. Now I am putting this little bird's nest in there, and I will put in the iCards the video where I created this little nest and put the little bird in there. And guys, you can decorate this up however you would like, and I am in love with this project. Now for my last but not least project here, I went out and grabbed some twigs from the back of my property and also some small, beautiful colored little pom-poms. And I'm going to be using my hot glue gun, and I'm just going to be placing these pom-poms all over these branches. Now of course when you put it on there, you'll have to kind of hold it there until it sets, but once it sets, these little pom-poms are so cute on these branches. I think that this makes a great addition to a craft room or to a child's bedroom to bring in some of these spring colors and just kind of just make it pop and just make it so fun. And of course I didn't put them on all of the branches. A few were extra, so I just went in and cut out the branches that I didn't use and kind of brought it back in. And then once I got it kind of trimmed down like I wanted it, I then had to have something, of course, to put it in. And I grabbed one of these glass vases that you can pick up pretty much anywhere, and of course some more of those fun colored pom-poms, and just kind of dropped those down in there, and then took the branches themselves once I got what I felt like would be enough and to help hold it up, and placed those in there. And guys, I think that this turned out so stinking cute. It's a great addition to bring in some springtime colors wherever you would like it. I hope you guys got some awesome inspiration from the projects today, and I know that you are going to even get more inspiration as you hop around to each one of the wonderful ladies that's in this hop. Now make sure that you give this video a big thumbs up, comment down below and let me know which one was your favorite project from the video today, and then click on the link to the next video in the hop so that you can head on over there and grab that inspiration we've been talking about. So guys, if no one has told you today, know that you are absolutely amazing, and always remember to keep looking up, because that's where it all is. I'll see you on the next video.